What'd you do?
What? I'm getting accustomed to it.
bring out the lasers, and it'll be good.
All the momentum out of going blind. How would it work to get worked on over the hill that goes slow? Inside. Is there an overtime limit to the amount of overkill?
Cool. I played that correctly.
Casualty. Ah.
How'd you guys feel?
I thought it was good other than the drumstick casualty.
Yeah, broken drumstick.
Shattered.
Yep. Live.
You recovered nicely. Shrapnel.
Next one. All right, 4 times the lives one lives for avarice.
Keeps asking parcel boy for the bigger box again, again. I tell them only gets what's coming home. Yells back, I only want what I can get again, again. I know just what it's like to be alone. Saves up all through the boot for the lower decks again, again. I'd like to take this bullshit on the road. 4 times the life one lives for avarice again, again. I like to say I told you so. I like to say I told you. Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Northend podcast, everybody. We are here in Earwig Studios, and we are here with the members of Nijlpaard. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves real quick?
Brian,
What do you play, Brian?
I play the 4-stringed instrument.
The 4-stringed instrument.
Hi. Brian, the bass player. Brian Holstein.
Holstein.
Holsteiner.
Thanks.
And then I am Eric. I play the drums.
And I am Rich, and I play the guitar and provide gout-induced shrieking vocalist
Rich
stuff.
plays the wall of sound.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, and before I forget, I'm Jordan,
I'm Julio.
and we all have names here, so it's
Oh,
all
good.
good to know each other.
We were wondering who you were. It's like, what is
Yeah, we
going
just
on
got
here?
here,
We're being
so-
interrogated.
So
Well,
yeah,
I'll go ahead.
and
I'll
kick
go
it
ahead
off.
and start this off. I wanted to ask you about La Appel de Vide, or translated directly from Google. Thank you, Google. Call to the void, as noise about a dust bowl that's still going down. That's what it says on your Bandcamp. So I just wanted to know a little bit more about that song and get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
through the-
So,
yeah.
like many years ago, I read a book about the Dust Bowl and how that all went down. It was a nightmare, and so I ended up, digging into that book and using it as a platform to develop lyrical content. Most of my lyrical content means nothing. It's just gibberish. But this particular song tied into a topic that, outside of, I really don't share a lot of political points of view, but this is one of those environmental nightmares that we can't, we can't repeat. And so essentially what it was is back in the 30s, they ripped all of the sod.
Yeah, their plowing technique.
Yeah, out of the Midwest. They just ripped up all the sod that was holding the earth together. And it's irreplaceable. It's never grown back. And to this day, they have giant dust storms, and it was just total stupidity. The government was paying people to rip this stuff out and plant wheat, which is great. But when every now and then in that area, they get drought, and when that drought hits, and there was no sod that there was that sod there that could maintain through the drought, no other plant could. All of the Native Americans were saying, dude, don't fucking do this.
It's kind of like a scene out of Inception, or not Inception, that other Christopher Nolan film.
Yeah.
The one where he goes to space. And what is that one called?
Oh, Interstellar.
Thank you. Wow. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy town that everything that went down. But the lyrics themselves, originally started, I couldn't think of the best way to describe it. In World War I, the French had this term, La Appel de Vide. And that was when you went over the wall with the idea that you knew you were going to die. And so you went over and it was actually a satisfying feeling to go over that wall knowing that it was finally done. And that's the sensation of La Appel de Vide.
I like that.
Oh yeah, that's really cool. I definitely get that kind of end of the world kind of vibe from that section of lyrics right there. And yeah, when I think about the Dust Bowl, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a really good Ken Burns documentary about that whole era of time.
No, I have to go check that out. It was just an intriguing read for me. But that's most of the time I don't research or dig into, the stuff I write. I like John Lennon's approach where the vocals are an instrument, and as long as it sounds good, it's good.
Yeah, you kind of go off a vibe or a feeling or some kind of emotion, and then it kind of pieces itself together from there.
That's funny. All this time, I thought you were just making fun of that trip to the Tri-Cities. It's this heavy story.
I love going to the Tri-Cities to play. That is the best fucking town to play in. I love it. If I could play there once a month, I would. But I don't want to make those guys drive every month.
It's very cool, that explanation. It's like an ultimate catharsis to be like, okay, I'm dying. So here we go.
Yeah, well, you apply it to Earth. Mm-hmm. You know.
So, okay, following up that question, I've mispronounced your band name multiple times.
Only because you've known us for so long.
Right. So, but I have it down now, and because you guys are now one of my top faves, because that heavy punch you guys do, the the slow creeping bam. Oh man, so sick. Nijlpaard is polished for what now?
It's Dutch.
Okay, I didn't. Okay, it's Dutch. Okay.
But now these guys are going to make fun of me.
All this time you said you were Dutch. You lying bastard.
Now, Rich, I told Jordan it was Polish because you're from, or I thought you said you were from Poland, but you're not. You're
Holland, Poland.
Yeah,
I can get you. I can
sorry.
get you. No, it's all good. It's fun. It's fine. Nothing wrong with
They're right
Polish.
not next to each other, so
okay.
it's easy to get them.
I was in the vicinity then.
There's a small country called Germany in between the
Oh,
two. but
right.
yeah.
Okay.
confusing.
Did not pass my geography.
Yeah. Nijlpaard, when we were coming down,
Nijlpaard?
Nijlpaard.
No, Pard.
Part.
Isn't it Pard?
No, it's you.
Oh, Christ.
It's all right. We're
So
breaking it down. Yeah.
Anyway, when we were trying to come up with a name, we're just like, what are we gonna do? And it just came down to, how are we gonna entertain ourselves? Well, let's get a word with a silent J, and nobody will ever get it right. And so, literally at every show, you get people like, I can't. We're
is
gonna
funny.
say thanks for playing
See,
with. I can't say your name.
You go into a club and it's loud, and and you say, "I'm with Nijlpaard," and they say, "What?" Nijlpaard.
I've been called Julio, and my name's Julio with a J.
yeah.
So I can
Yeah, and
definitely
the
relate.
whole time prior to that, they've only read the name, so they have no idea what you're saying. Nijlpaard. Oh yeah, or Nijlpaard. Oh yeah.
Speaking of
in.
Nigel, he's right in front of us. I don't know if you can see him. He's a lovely little orange hippo.
Right. When I looked up your band's name, just Google searched it, I got a lot of images of hippopotamuses.
That's the Dutch word for
Yeah.
hippo. Yep,
There you
Nile. So Nile, the river Nile part is the Dutch word for horse. So they refer to hippos as Nile horses.
Oh, wow.
Okay, that makes sense.
Pretty cool.
Not really. The Dutch are dumb.
Well, it makes
So-
sense in a way.
In a way,
I can see the
Cool.
connection.
I like hippos. They're cute,
they're fucking deadly.
but they're cute.
They're the largest. I think they kill more human beings than any other species. So
Well,
that
at least,
makes us badass.
at least you can hug one before you die.
Maybe a baby one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They grow up, but yeah.
So I gotta say, when I listen to you guys, I kind of picture my my youth playing. Have you guys ever played a video game called Amped? It's a snowboarding game.
Oh hell yeah.
Had the best soundtrack, right?
Yeah, love
So
that game.
Amped 1, Amped 2, even Amped 3 was pretty cool.
Right.
But the music you guys play
Yeah.
kind of take me back to that time period, which is I don't know how to put it, but early 2000s post-hardcore.
Right.
It's I gotta say it's my favorite genre. I love that genre. So
Yeah, what is that? 311 or something like that.
Yeah,
Some band.
There's a lot
lot
of
of
too.
Yeah, there's a lot of influence from you kind of, since these guys are from the Tri-Cities, you can hear a lot of influence from that world. At least I can hear it from them, especially after watching that documentary. Everything started to make more sense on how you guys play. They used
All
to,
ages show.
if you ever get a
Download
chance,
today.
all ages show, and it's the history of the Tri-City rock and roll scene, and it's
Well, some of it.
some of it. And he's in it a lot, so
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Well, I'm old.
That's
definitely.
great. Is it on YouTube?
yeah, I think it is.
Is it on Netflix?
It's on many of the streaming
It's on Amazon Prime.
movie
yeah.
services. Yeah, Amazon
Okay.
Prime.
Okay.
It'll cost you.
Among others.
Whatever. I'll
Yeah.
watch it.
I'll pay the $3.99 or
I
whatever.
think it's $15.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
We'll pirate a DVD and send it your way.
I'll
No,
figure
it's
it
cool.
out.
I'd pay for that shit, man.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
But yeah, no, I mean you could probably hear a lot of like Sunny Day Real Estate in that style and how we play, where you play that quiet to loud and quiet to loud. That's had a lot of influence on how I write. And
Yeah, back in the day in the Tri-Cities, the Sunny Day Real Estate Empty Set came to the Tri-Cities, and they played a high school back in the day. And we played a show with them, and then we went to the Velvet Elvis and played again. And then they came back as Sunny Day Real Estate and played many shows at the Hoedown. So big influence on
you're
me,
going to have
for
to
sure.
explain what you mean by we played.
How long have you guys been a band? First off,
We didn't play.
Oh yeah, my band way back in the day. So this was maybe days. This was a long time ago.
really quick. I'm sorry, I should have asked this before, but how long have you guys been a band?
Oh my god.
We're 5.
As Nijlpaard
I was
or
looking, our
all-
first
all
show was
renditions?
5 years ago
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
at the Victory.
But now we
Yeah.
had gotten together. Gosh, it must have been about 10 years ago, and we were practicing with Brian and Matt LaSalle, and that was kind of the first rendition of Nijlpaard.
Yeah, Eric and I had been playing together for a long time. We played in a band called Tightwad
Yeah, that was right
right.
after Type.
for I don't know. We played for like 10 years in Tightwad.
Yeah, that was my first band after moving to the Seattle area, which I stayed out of music for about 2 years purposefully because because the Seattle scene sucks.
I was just about to say that.
I was like, I do not want a part of that. Oh, thanks, Rich. I was trying to be quiet and in the back.
It's kind of interesting, you know.
Moved
what, I
my
didn't-
mic
'cause
right
I
in
didn't-
front of my face.
I didn't even ask the question, but you guys answered it. So perfect. It was basically, what are your band's main influences? Unless you want to expand on that real quick.
Engine Kid.
Oh yeah, Engine Kid,
Fucking
Sunny
Engine
Day,
Kid.
Okay.
We had
Drive
a-
Like Jehu,
We had a
the
big.
Sundays.
We were stuck. The Sundays.
What? They're a great band.
That laugh sounded
Yes.
great.
Where the story ends.
See, you see what I'm saying?
I love it.
That's Don, by the way.
Whoa, hey Don.
Don Farwell.
Oh man, the master back there. And
Yeah, no, Engine Kid. So we got stuck in a rut. We've been playing the same music for like what 3-4 years, and we were stuck in the songs that we were playing. You know, we couldn't not write the same song over. So what are we gonna do? And Brian's like, hey, let's just learn. What was the album?
Brian is a big influence on our music.
Angel Wings.
When he met,
Yeah.
when Brian met me and Rich, he said, "Hey guys, I have an idea. How about we make this a little more hardcore?" Because we were getting a little twangy
Yeah, we
for
were-
a while.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, I
We were
said those
kinda-
words
we were kinda
exactly like
spinning
that.
out. Yeah, he said it more mean, which is awesome. It's exactly what
I mean, judging from your goatee, I thought that would have come from you. You know, when I look at you, I'm like Anthrax or Slayer.
Brian listens probably to the hardest,
No
darkest
way.
stuff that you
Black
can.
metal
Yeah,
and
he's
stuff.
a black metal.
No
guy.
way.
No. But
Great.
Norwegian black.
Really?
Norwegian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real,
true
the real
Norwegian.
stuff.
Yeah.
True with a V.
so we've used that tone. So we tend to do that. We'll get to a spot where we're happy with what we sound like, and then all of a sudden we kind of get in a bit of a rut where we kind of soften up, and maybe it's a lack of inspiration or something. So then we go back to what Brian was saying. Hey guys, let's just kick it in the pants or something here, you know, and let's write something aggressive. And off that's when we took one of our biggest influences. Hey, you know what? Let's just play some Engine Kid covers and then come back and do some writing.
This is a great lead in to the 3 songs that you performed for us live. I'm not gonna pretend to remember all the names of the songs. However, I can definitely say that I can hear the experimentation in the songs and the fact that there's some harder ones and there's some slowly. And you told us back in there that you're experimenting with the slow leading in type of feel, and I'm digging it, man. Digging it.
Yeah. It was, again, Brian steering us in a way that was what is the definition of hard? Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily, like Jordan and I were talking, everything out, full out tilt the whole fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's harder to play slow than it is fast. All of my earlier music was just, it must have been speed metal or something. So I was able to hide behind that speed, and slowing down forces you to use technique, and man, I ain't got technique. So it's a learning experience to do this, slow everything down and just add some power to it.
Adding dynamics to music is a great idea. Oh, for me, it's what kind of makes things kind of fun, right?
I think
The
so.
unexpected.
I think when Brian joined us after we were playing in this band called Tin Buoy, and it was like a pop rock band with our buddy Craig Marois.
That's when
I always give a shout out to him because he's one of my oldest friends. But Brian came in and it was just like, okay, well, what do you guys want? And it was just a great question, and we just came to this idea of we need to be uncomfortable all the time.
And even before that, remember we recorded in Brian's basement.
Oh yeah, that was a tightwad.
Oh yeah, tightwad. Yeah, and we learned a lot from that. Every time I'd ever been in the studio before then, it was with Brian, except one time with DNC. But anyway, Brian has always been a great influence.
Brian doesn't say anything though.
A man, a few words, but a lot to put into the music.
Right.
Huge.
He doesn't realize how much of an influence he is.
Sometimes the quiet ones are the most majestic.
Our influence on him is he's growing a beard.
They keep saying I said all this stuff early on. I don't remember anything.
Well, actually, we're kind of
say that.
we're making shit up, but you know. hey.
I see. Alrighty. I got a loaded question coming up real quick. Jordan, is that great?
Go ahead.
What are your favorite venues to play at right now?
What's left?
And actually, I was going to also say, do you think that cancel culture has something to do with the venues closing down?
No, absolutely not.
No.
It's money.
Money. Oh yeah, or is it more insidious? Than that?
It's money. I mean,
money.
Well, the
when it comes-
apocalypse happened, and then money disappeared.
if you're
and then
talking about,
we were fighting in the streets.
yeah, if you're talking about like downtown Seattle, it's always been that way from the '90s. It's been a battle between artists and people with money who want to live downtown because there's cool artists.
Right.
But then when they move downtown, suddenly they're dealing with the noise ordinance and the issues that come with living with artists, and then they don't want to deal with it anymore, and they chase everybody out. But if you go to places like, I really enjoy. Like I said, I love playing in Tri-Cities. I love playing in Olympia. McCoy's Tavern is a fucking blast. Why limit to yourself to this shit town Seattle? Don, where are you going to move to?
Tacoma has a great scene right now.
We
this
like
place is
playing
cool. Yeah.
where there's a receptive venue and receptive audience. So Lucky Liquor, it's this tiny little dive, but we love playing that place. It's awesome. And then the Central is cool. It's very big, but it has been beaten down a bit from the last few years.
Yeah.
And now they're willing to let the likes of us play, which is great. So
You like playing the JNM.
oh yeah, those guys talk about noise ordinance.
Now
That snare, you can't hit that.
I wanted really quick. Oh, really? That's happening?
Yeah, they look. I brought a marching snare that day, and the sound guy came up to me. Hey, you're not going to hit that hard, are you?
Are you serious?
Oh my god!
And I replied, well, of course not.
Just before,
Little tap.
And then I
just
proceeded
before
to beat the living
stage,
crap out of it.
the sound guy comes up to Brian and I. There's like this folky band played before us. He goes, "You're not going to be as loud as them, are you?"
Are you serious? I saw a death metal band play there. I saw Zoth play there.
What? So we were banned from ever playing there ever again.
Really? I
So-
saw a death metal bill there.
Oh, we're going to change our name and go back.
That is very weird.
I'm bringing that marching snare
That's
again.
weird.
I think it's because we laughed at them when they were yelling at us. That was just like, dude, you booked the fucking show.
Oh, remember at my show when that guy stood up? He's like, "Hey, can you turn it down a little bit?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. This next song is very quiet," and I just play extra loud. It's like,
Yeah.
come on, why are you here, bro? You know. Anyway,
It is what it is.
the reason why I brought up the cancel culture thing is because, for example, there's a venue. I'm not going to name it, but there's a lot of hate on it because of a couple of controversial things that happened there. Right now, you don't have that many venues, right now. That's the problem. So my question really relates to like bands getting canceled for playing at shows there, or because they accepted a show there and then they get canceled by the community.
We're playing there May 11th.
Wait, what? You know what venue I'm talking
Is
about?
it in Linwood?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're playing there May 11th.
You know what? I personally haven't had a problem there.
I think
I like the owner. He's a nice guy.
We have decided to
I-
cancel on them.
Really?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Okay.
I don't care. I don't care. If somebody does something wrong to us, then we won't like them. But until then, we just don't have enough time in our life to hold a lot of ill will to other people. So we'll play any venue, anytime, as long as they're happy to have us and there's a willing crowd. Then we'll fucking do it. And
That's cool. That answers my question.
yeah,
I think we'll play it even when there isn't a crowd.
well, that's where we get to do our Phil Collins covers.
We are not selective.
Yeah. There's just a lot of tribalism within the music community, with the younger
With the younger crowd.
the younger crowd. And I feel like I've always believed in this. I've always believed in absolute inclusivity. Just like let's all just chill out, man. Anyway.
Right.
Any hobbies or interests outside of music that you guys want to discuss? And that relates to Nijlpaard.
That relates to Nijlpaard.
Yeah, what do you guys do outside of band? If you want to explore that.
Do we
Yeah.
do anything outside of that?
I don't know. Brian,
I work-
You
I
have
work-
a really cool hobby.
Brian does race car stuff,
I work on cars and I race cars, and that's about what I do.
fun stuff.
That's sweet.
Right on.
Rich goes to a lot of shows without us and tells us about it. Hey, this was awesome. You missed it. Thanks, Rich. I hate people, so I have a boat that I go out on a lot, and I spend a lot of time in the San Juans. I find an island and hike and stuff. I
Nature.
love that.
Nature.
Yeah.
Nature is your influence.
Yeah. Got me through the apocalypse.
Right on.
The mini apocalypse. Rich, did you want to share anything?
I am a divorced single guy,
Oh, so
Go-
you're available?
so I just go to.
Oh, see,
no,
ladies.
I don't know. I think I have a girl. I'm pretty sure I have a girl.
Oh, sorry, ladies.
Yeah.
Never mind. Or gentlemen. Sorry. I don't. You never know.
Anyway, but I do, I go to shows. I'm just kind of after COVID, kind of rediscovering the art scene, and I'm really enjoying that. Going to galleries, going to shows,
Very
going.
nice.
That's just something I used to involve myself in before I got married, and kind of got away from. The only real art expression I had was hanging out with these guys and making a shit ton of noise. So.
Yeah. I make my wife drop the anchor and tie us to docks and stuff and hike islands.
She's awesome.
Yeah. She won't let me go without her.
Really quickly, so those 3 songs that you performed for us, is that part of a upcoming EP or an album?
Sure.
Those are fresh. We just
Fresh?
built those. They're
Those are
not
brand new.
they're
Yeah.
not even really tight yet.
So
I'm excited.
2 of those we've been playing for a couple months.
Yeah.
Above the Nut this is the first time we played it for other people.
No way.
Yep.
Thank you.
And we have a couple of other things that we in the works that we're going to try out. We are very interested in doing a certain cover. You guys,
Oh, what cover is that?
Yeah, can you tell us about that, or
you guys
want to?
go ahead, Brian.
Announce
It's
it
your
here?
idea.
Yeah, it's just it's an old Phil Collins song, an angry Phil Collins song.
Whoa. That is awesome. That is
That's
awesome.
cool. I'm not too familiar with any angry Phil Collins songs, but I haven't heard all of his
It's
work.
because he doesn't play him angry.
Oh,
So and we when you listen to it, you're like, Brian pointed out, I'm like, yeah, we could rock the shit out of this
We'll-
thing.
we'll
if we
see.
want. Yeah.
When you make covers your own, that's kind of a cool idea. Is it? What is it that I think it was Johnny Cash who kind of was into that idea, like of covering a song and making it your own kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I personally like. I like to kind of sound like the original, but it never does for me. It's just I can't do covers. I fucking ruin them.
We have a cover that we play now. and that's the Engine Kid Nail Gun. We've really liked that band.
Are you playing that for our show tomorrow?
Yes, Julio, why don't you tell us about tomorrow?
Brought to you by Lucky Liquor.
Too bad people aren't going to hear this till like Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got. So we played the show already.
Yep.
And it went great. Everybody showed up. It was dope. It was sold out. So yeah, I want to say I'm honored that you asked me to play because I just got back into it and I appreciate it. I'm honored, especially because I love your guys. I love your guys' sound and this is cool. I'm opening for you guys.
Well,
It's
thank
cool.
you.
Yeah.
Well,
I Lucky Liquor in Tequila
in Tequila, yeah.
with Casval.
Casval, yeah. Great noise rock band. So, but yeah, no. How many times have you booked us?
More than I can count.
Yeah,
Probably.
turnaround's fair play, bastard.
What's that?
Turnaround is fair play. You'll probably be on more bills down the road. So,
Oh, sweet. Jordan, would you have any questions?
Sure. I mean, one thing I was curious about is since you've all been musicians and playing in bands for quite a long time, different parts of the country and so forth, I was curious what your favorite parts of being a musician are and what your least favorite parts of being a musician are. Do the positives outweigh the negatives?
oh yeah. If they didn't, we wouldn't do it.
I think the positives are those stories that you remember in the past, those awesome shows and those musicians you were hanging out with. And then equally, those are some of the bad times too.
So again, I started playing when I was 20, and I'm in my 50s now, and so that's 30 years of playing hard, aggressive rock, and these guys are in the same boat, and yeah, I mean, you still stumble backwards in time to that sorority you played that was just nuts, or that show where you almost got in a fight with the other band, and those sit in your back pocket, and they're just great memories to share with other people. You can sit around and talk about it and compare notes. Did this ever happen to you? Oh my God, I remember that.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's all kind of part of your whole journey together.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, not just us, but when we meet folks like you, you're able to sit down. Had I not gone out to see your show a couple weeks ago, I wouldn't have met Noah, and I wouldn't have gone to his show last week. And and that thing, and then we can, these relationships build on each other.
The ripple effect.
Yeah, because we have common things that have happened to us over time, and
Yeah.
that's an important part of being a creative person.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that being a creative person, it's like there is always a lot of struggle to it. And I think that having that struggle can help us not just try and keep going through it or try and keep evolving, but I think it creates sometimes better work out of it, right? Like if we all just had an easy time of it, it's like, it sounds great, like totally, but I think that a lot of the most interesting work comes out of some sort of like struggle, some kind of restriction, or some kind of oppression, if you want to put it that way.
You're right. We learn from our mistakes. So studio is a great way to bring that out. So maybe we write a song and then we listen to it and it's like, wow, that really didn't work at all. We need to change that up. It's really good to have that outside-in perspective. But that's how you learn. You make mistakes. You just go out and you do stuff and you learn from it. I mean, when we all started off, we all sucked and we got better and we played with bands that were inspiring and they taught us things and we just worked harder and harder and kept going.
I still kind of suck. I still kind of suck.
Well, we all will suck until the day we die, and we'll keep working harder and harder to try and get better.
Do not agree, sir.
Do you want the biggest con of being in a rock band?
Yeah.
Is lugging shit.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean, man? That's the best part.
Drums.
Especially for the
I
drummer.
mean, I as a drummer can totally relate to that.
Yeah, as a
Just
vocalist, I
having
can
to
relate.
figure out how to get my gear from point A to point B,
I
and
use,
have
I-
everything, and just like being able to remember. Okay, did I grab everything from this venue that was way far away?
And then you forgot your stool, and so you're always joke. I used to always joke. You know what? I'm just going to get that Space Muffin drum set. It all folds into one thing. And you put it in a briefcase, and you're done.
Space muffin. You've been
Yeah.
talking about that since Tin Dewey, dude.
Yeah, but then there's the sound. So
So we
might work.
got a couple last questions, right?
Yes, go for it.
We're heading to the end. Ooh. So, what's the best piece of advice another musician gave you? And that kind of ties in with what you were talking about, how outside influences kind of relate to you growing as a band, as a musician.
The
right?
best piece of advice?
I don't think I ever heard another musician verbally speak something so intellectual before, but yet it was better to watch them and see what they
Experience
did.
it, yeah.
And usually what it was, people like Eric Ockery, people that are OCD about learning everything and playing everything perfectly all the time. Those people are so inspiring.
Easily the
Just
top,
watching
top
great
3 drummer in the
performances.
city.
Yeah,
Eric
watching
Ockery.
great
But yeah.
performances is really how to see that conveyed by a musician, I think. For me.
Extreme OCD.
Yeah, I've never had great advice other than, hey, tighten your drums in a star pattern.
Yeah, look at the audience more.
Can I? I'm
I
gonna.
hear that sometimes.
I'm gonna piss off every sound guy. Like whenever they ask you to turn your amp down, right? You walk over to your amp and you put your hand over the volume knob. And you don't touch it. You just kind of go like this, and then you take your foot and you step on the mic stand that's miking your amp, and you slide the mic back a couple inches, and then ask them, "How's that?" And usually that's works. That's probably the best advice I've ever got.
I really
like that.
I really like this question that Jordan wrote down. I kind of. Do you want me to ask here?
Go ahead.
Really?
Yeah, go for it.
Sweet. I feel honored. What would you do if the audience looked bored or they weren't doing nothing, like they're just standing there? Do you guys care about that?
Oh, they always do that. Is that bad?
In Seattle, yeah, kind of.
Depends on where you
But here's
are.
the thing. This is
But
why I
yeah.
like playing venues that have small stages or stages that are close to the ground,
Mm-hmm.
or playing right in front of them on the floor. When I'm singing, I like to just be like up in their face, like.
That is important. As a
don't know.
musician, you think, okay, hey, music is an art. So you're in your basement writing music. But when you're playing a show, you're really entertaining people. So what you think is cool when you're by yourself in your basement is not really entertaining in a bar environment sometimes. So you got to make your choice. You either just want to stick to your art and what you like, or you want to try and add some impact in there. Or maybe there's a part of you that enjoys a certain bit of impact. So write that. If you're going to play out, yeah.
There's a lot of different variables, right? Like
Yeah.
it depends on the venue, depends how the band feels, depends how the whole night is going. Like, right? Because
Yeah.
like you said, if it's a restaurant or something and people are just
Yeah.
eating, like, do it
But-
really? I don't know. It's
Yeah, and we're not that dynamic. We have a set, and that's it. It's not going to
Personally,
change
I like to play
based
just for
on the
me.
venue.
I'm playing. This is me.
Yeah, I was, I was listening to that question, and I'm just like that. I could care less. I've been playing.
Honestly.
I respect that.
I'm more intrigued. I'm more moved when people are reacting. When there's no reaction, that's on them.
Well, sometimes
If
no
it's-
reaction is a reaction, and it's a great reaction. Like
Sorry.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
But I mean, either they're telling you you're not doing good, or they're telling you that you're doing good. Those are the reactions I'm trying to figure out. But if someone's just standing there and they're on their phone, and
Right.
they're,
usually,
then why are you here?
A lot of
You know?
times, audiences will stand there kind of captivated. Sometimes
Yeah.
it depends on the audience. Maybe they've seen you before, but this is new stuff, so they're kind of checking it out. They haven't discovered the groove yet, so they're just kind of listening. There's some audiences that are like that. I remember back in the Tri-Cities, I played a lot of shows, but we were writing all the time. And even the people that would come out and see us on a regular basis, for the new songs, they would kind of sit and listen to it first. Oh, wait, this is new. Let's check this out. So it really kind of depends. There's so many dynamics to that.
Really, really quickly, I want to say at this show that I booked, Hillary, can't remember her last name, but she was like a folk singer. She was amazing, so amazing that the whole venue just was like, you know. So there's moments where that's good,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And it was like it was an acoustic kind of event, right?
Yeah.
So and then my friend comes up to me and goes, "It's one thing to make the whole crowd go wow, and it's another thing to make them all go quiet." And that stuck to me because I'm like, okay.
And it's
And
very
it's true.
different
It's
when
true.
you show up to the venue and it's got chicken wire in front of the stage. I played a show in Wenatchee many years ago, and it had chicken wire in front of the stage. We thought, oh, what the heck is this? I saw this in movies once.
These poor kids are not.
Mad
And,
Max.
yeah, we played our set, so none of the other bands showed up. So we went on first, fine. So we played our set. The crowd was kind of not really into it. They were kind of more of a metal crowd, and we were kind of more not metal at the time. And since none of the other bands showed up, they asked us to keep playing. Hey, play some more. But the crowd was getting a little bit perturbed, and they started throwing shit at us. They started
What?
throwing beer and all. Yeah, and that's what we're like. Oh,
That
that's
really
what
happened, Rich?
That's what the chicken wires were.
the-
This was before Nijlpaard. I just wanted to throw that.
I'm sorry.
Audience.
Wasn't
so
like a
an
racist thing.
extreme
Oh,
audience.
I was like,
in the 80s and the 90s when I was going to shows.
It was Wenatchee.
Even here in Seattle in the 80s and 90s, you're going to a show. Once you were done with your beer, you had this empty solo cup. So the appropriate receptacle was the stage.
Oh no,
That's
these
where it
weren't
went.
plastic cups. Wenatchee
Yeah.
was glass.
Is that- I mean,
these are glass,
it
man.
was-
This is the real deal.
I mean,
The owner felt so bad. They invited us back to their place, and they treated us to
My
a
battle
home cooked
scars.
meal, and it was pretty cool.
you know, yeah, back in the 70s, blood was a mandatory piece of the act.
It wasn't
Yeah.
the 70s.
Yeah, if you look at the Germs.
I was still in kindergarten in the
Yeah, I
70s.
know. But if you look at bands like the Germs and Iggy Pop, I mean, those guys they'd be destroyed by the end of sets. And
That kind of energy, man.
it's
Miss
the energy. That was the energy, the original energy of punk rock.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
And now it's the emo kids who stand there with their thumbs in their backpacks, rocking back and forth.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
all about the safety spaces.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
So-
everything's so much safer now. You know, for a pod, I don't know.
But I mean,
that could be like a good
That's a
and
whole
bad
different
thing.
podcast.
Yeah.
That's a whole other podcast we got to devote to.
But I mean, it's just punk rock. Whatever. It evolves along with everything else, and as long as you're having fun,
Punk rock
just
has
keep
gone.
going.
Yo, punk rock has gone a little conformist, a little bit, just a little bit in Seattle at least.
Is
Yeah,
it-
but
is
back
it
in
re-
the day when we were kids playing punk rock, it was about anarchy.
Yeah.
But now,
Exactly.
punk rock has chosen the political side. It's like, guys,
It's the
come on.
opposite, really. It's
I kind of feel that. Yeah.
Come on.
It's punk rock is what it is, and what it should be is a bunch of teenagers in their hometown making their own scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like what you were doing in Arlington back in the day, and
Ooh, Everett,
yeah,
too.
Yeah, and Everett, and just getting and making their own thing, and what they did in Tri-Cities back in the '90s, and what that's it. And then once it explodes and becomes an industry, then it's no longer punk rock.
Everett. So, did you go to big top shows when you were in
Oops,
college?
sorry, buddy.
when I was in college, when I went to Everett or Western.
I know they're from Everett. That's all I know.
Big top,
Yeah, I've gone
dude.
to.
That was the '90s.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a
I
long
was in
time ago.
Florida, man. I was 1 year old. Well, anyways, you guys, thank you so much for being a part of this, and
Thank you for inviting us.
thank you, Rich.
Yeah, it was
thank you,
an
Dave.
absolute
Thank you,
privilege
Brian.
Yeah, thanks for
to
coming
both
out.
hear you play and to also talk with you. And do you guys have anything else you want to plug or any other upcoming shows? We know about the one tomorrow, but you know.
Yeah, so well, the one
Later
that we played 3 days ago, which is actually tomorrow, that's at Lucky Lager. So May 11th will
Lucky
be at
Liquor.
the Vessel.
Okay.
Oh,
What?
did you hear that?
The Vessel. And then are we playing on the 27th?
Lucky Lager.
Are we playing on the 27th?
Don't know about that.
All right.
I'll get back to you.
We don't
Can
know
I,
yet.
can I? Have you guys ever seen The Crow?
Yeah.
Remember the bad guy?
No.
You remind me
It
of
was
it
a long
so
time
much.
ago. Oh shit! I gotta rewatch that.
I saw The Crow like
He's awesome.
decades ago.
He's awesome.
The only memory I have of The Crow was so was when our old bassist Joe Corf comes in with his hair dyed black, It comes out of his mouth. I saw the crow 12 times, and this is what happened to my hair.
Nice.
He myself laughing.
That actor was recently in that Alien movie, that Jordan Peele movie. You know, the one where it's like,
Nope.
Have you guys seen? Yeah,
Nope.
You haven't seen it. Well, okay, I
I'll
won't
do some
reveal.
research. I'll start with the
Spoilers.
crow.
Preview.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't spoil
Anyway,
it.
but hey, thanks for inviting us.
Yeah. Anytime. And yeah, looking forward to hearing you guys live here soon.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks
big,
so much.
Big thanks to Don and Earwig Studios for bringing
yes.
us in.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
Make it all happen.
We almost forgot, dude.
Don, chime in.
Chilling, man.
He only speaks when
Hey,
we
you want
say
us to order
something
pizza?
about the Sundays. The Sundays really suck.
Weren't we supposed to get chicken? I thought chicken was...
Yeah, we were gonna get chicken, weren't we?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna wait
So
until
that was a
everybody
thing.
leaves, and then I'll bust out the chicken.
Oh, you brought fried chicken?
No,
Sweet.
ain't no chicken.
No, we
Okay.
didn't bring. I kind of opted against buying chicken because my tummy's not doing that good.
Well,
so.
fried chicken is pretty. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I understand.
There's only one small bathroom, so
And I got to play tomorrow night. So,
Okay. Good
All
thinking
right.
ahead.
Well, thank you guys.
all right,
you.
kids.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks again. Yes.
That was an amazing episode.
Another take of that.